All right. So I believe I've worked on the radio. I've worked on the audio at this point. So, Professor Ras Akolache watching us. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate your support every week. Please share the link. If you can hear me, please indicate in the comments that you can actually hear me now so we can start the show. So John, Nana, and thanks for watching. Again, let us know that you can hear me because my audio from the go wasn't really working, and I hope I fixed that at this point. Can anybody hear me? I could see the signals going forth and back. So anyway, so as I was saying, we've been off air for some time, and of course, I've been bogged down doing a little bit of studies. My head was on fire. I'm happy. I'm glad it's a bit calm now. It's summer, so I get a chance to rest. And of course, I have no better place to spend it than with you guys discussing issues occurring in our political dispensation in Ghana. Two very important ones which we've decided to tackle today for you. And of course, you being part of the discussion as well. Always welcome to send us your comments. The two things we want to talk about really are one, the Electoral Commission is being really, sending some really worrisome signals. One, we've recently heard that there are some biometric verification, systems missing, BVRs, biometric verification and registration systems that has all of a sudden not been found. I believe 7 or 10 of them or so. And we want to interrogate what the implication of that is to our forthcoming election, which is scheduled for December 7th. Secondly, we are also aware of a scandal. Matter of fact, it's referred to as the SML Scandal. SML being a company that was formed in 2017, right after the new administration came into power. That this company was awarded some contracts, to assist at the port to do auditing of port activities and, taxes that get paid at the port so that, there's an accurate accounting for those taxes. So the contract was supposed to be between the Ghana Revenue Authority and SML. Apparently, SML themselves didn't get this contract directly because, of course, being a new company, they didn't have the past performance necessary to go through, the procurement process and get the contract themselves. So they were subcontracted to the company that was already in place doing the work. But apparently, when it came to recompetes, that the old company was let go and then SML took over fully, but that contract got expanded, as my understanding is. Of course, this is my understanding, but my guests are on. I think I have a fan now, and I'll bring him into the studio soon. So I will get them to kind of explain to all of us, what their understanding of those contracts are themselves, and what lessons are there to be learned, because there's just too many of these things, right? There's just too many times in our history that the politicians seem to give contracts without going through the right channels, and then we end up spending so much money sometimes for no work done after, So my guys are in the studio. Let's start the conversation. So I have with me today Afa Amayao, Paul Disosu. Paul and Afa, I think your cameras are off. Welcome to the show. It's been a long time I haven't seen you. I am happy to be back. I know you feel the same. Please get your audios on and let me hear your voice. How are you guys doing today, Paul and Afa Amayao? Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. So, but I can't see you. So it's been a while. Now I can see you.
I was trying to rush over, but I couldn't. I had to stop and just.
Oh, how long would it take you? I mean, we can.
Yeah, I wanted to say hi before I shut up.
You stop on
about 10 minutes.
Okay, so we just wait for Paul to get on so we can start a conversation. We can definitely.
Is he coming? Or
Paul is on.
He's trying to give excuses.
No, he's on.
Is he? Is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Is he? My good brother Ifa knows very well that there's nothing for him to say this evening. He's just here to play around because, so far as I'm concerned, the NPP communicators have stopped going on radio because they cannot even defend their own legacy. So I don't know what he's coming to do over here.
Oh,
But
not
I'm here
me.
for him. I'm here for him.
Not me. We have a lot to talk about. You know, we've done a great job, and we are not shy to defend that legacy. And you know, when you say legacy, you are talking in very big terms. Let's take them in specifics. Like today, let's focus on the SML
All
revenue
right.
generation and deal with it, and you will see that we've done a great job other than what people are trying to
And I'm
portray.
disappointed that you are here coming to defend this stinking SML deal. A deal that
Okay.
you and your cronies, you share the money and you spend the good people's money. You are here to
If you
defend
could
it.
list, if
Okay.
you could list those who have shared, we will be happy. And if you
Okay.
could list the part that stinks, you see, when you take the human body, right, there is a part that stinks. So when you can pinpoint to the particular point that we will deal with that, you know, don't worry about it. But if you
All
can
right.
show your face, then we
No
can see
problem.
the facial
You
expression. That
know,
would be great.
welcome, Effa and Paul. Paul, can you show your face so we can see you? It's been a while. Is it possible for you to show your face so we can see you?
Yes, I'm finishing with a match. My son had a match. I just ended and I'm on my way home. But I am
Okay.
here to make sure that, brother, if I don't put out lies, the mischief, the
Okay.
propaganda, the visionless government will not share any lies on the show this afternoon. So I'm here for him.
Okay, great. Effa is going to be driving home as well, or if I don't know, would you be here to do the show, or you do want to go get home and kind of log on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Paul, if I will be going home, it will take him about 10 minutes, but you and I can, start.
I'll be listening though.
Yeah, so if I will be listening. So if I let me start with you and then you can jump on the road and get out of here. So if I, the two things I really want us to talk about is first the elections are around the corner, of course. And the campaigns, I'm surprised the campaigns are not really up to teeth right now. A friend of mine in Ghana told me, that we should expect by July things to be off to running. Anyway, maybe because it's not too much money in the system, so they can spend so much money at this point on the campaign trail. So everybody's waiting till maybe July for us to see heated campaign. But nonetheless, we do have registrations currently going on, and it came out a couple of months ago that the EC has lost a couple of its biometric verification machines. Right? Is it registration machine? BVRs, right?
Yeah, verification machines. Yeah.
Are they verifications machine or registration machines?
BVRs are verification machines. We have
Okay.
BVRs and we have BVDs.
Okay. All right. So verification machines are machines. So basically, what it means is that somebody, not EC, has one of the machines that will be required to verify a voter to vote on the day. All right. Does that worry you?
Yeah, of course. Anything that would lead to any compromised election is a worry. You know, elections are a very heated a moment in Ghana, and any concern, anything that is that calls for questioning and stuff like that, we should all be concerned. When it comes to the BVDs, sometimes when we are answering questions on these things, I don't want to be sound like somebody speaking for the EC, because as a political party, we don't speak for the EC. The
All
EC
right.
should be able to speak for itself. So, what has happened? The EC identifies some kits or some machines as part of their whole system as not being part of a stock somewhere, quote unquote, stolen or whatever it may be. They suspected some people, they alerted the police, and investigations are going on.
Mhm.
So, as part of the investigations, the EC has also been called to answer questions on, are these capable of compromising elections? And they've given two answers. One,
Right.
they've they've made us aware that these machines have come to what they call end of life. So if the machines have come to the end of life or after registration and they've deleted it, that is perfectly okay. Another thing is that, okay, so can these machines be activated because they are capable of doing certain things? And the answer that they've given has not really been straightforward. Kind of. We don't really know what the situation is, and that really calls for a worry.
Right.
I think that what instead of us all trying to box the EC, which is a good thing to make sure they do a good job. Where are the police on this? Where has the police got into? Who are the people that they suspect? What have they talked to them about? What information do we have? And where are we getting to? Are we getting to recovering these things, or what is it? I think we all ought to be worried if these things can compromise the elections. But the EC has made us aware that these things cannot in any way compromise the elections. I think that what all the political parties need to do is have a meeting with the EC and the police and really get the assurance of how these things can really everybody will be satisfied that going into the elections, we got to go with a clear mind that nothing can be done with these machines and stuff like that. And that I mean, if people call for some of these things, it's a good call, but sometimes we over politicize this and it tends to, talk challenges the EC and stuff like that. Previously these things have happened where EC has been called upon and has been challenged to an extent where some of us think we are overdoing it, and some of the accusations later on, could not be something that will be actualized and stuff like that. So, in as much as it's important to find some of these things, I think sometimes we over politicize these things, and let us all try to get to the bottom of it.
Right. Good. So sometimes we over politicize it. Let's get to the bottom of it. You are counting on the police. The police have really had so many botched investigations, right? So I'm surprised that you have hope in the police.
I don't trust them. I
Okay,
don't.
so
I have had a lot of cases there that they've not been able to. But you see, here is the thing, right? You see, for me, the police is not something that came through an event. We have had them for so many years. The problem we complain about has existed since time immemorial. If the leaders have not fixed it, let us deal with what we have. Who else will you allow to investigate these things? If it is the Yoko, we have our problem. If it is the OSP, we have our problem with it. If it is the AG's office, we have our problems with it. So it is up to the leaders to fix some of these things. That is what we have. Where else will you take it? So if it is not good, if the food is not good, you prepared it, eat it.
No,
right?
I'm only asking that because the solution you pointed to rightly so is that we give it to the police. They've been called to action on this, so we just leave it to them to handle. So I just do want to be sure that you have trust in the police. Of course
No,
you don't.
I don't.
So which is good. So the problem still exists in your mind, since you don't even think the police are likely to bring the solution we need right before the election. So there is still the risk that those machines are likely to find themselves in the wrong hands, and the risk of them being used to manipulate the election is still there, right?
Yeah, but I don't think anybody will go that far within the EC.
Okay.
Knowing what happened, not what happened to some of the commissioners some time ago when they tried to manipulate and do whatever. I don't think you see the nature of our elections are such that the vigilance is so key, and the slightest thing can lead to whatever. No, it is
Right.
a tense moment. So I'm yet to see anybody who would want to um, compromise them. I mean, they try. People try. You can't say people will not try. You can kill people for killing others, but they will go to that extent. But I think there is enough vigilance. I mean, you can see the registration and how it's going, the limited registration, and the way the political parties are vigilant about it. The same thing it will be applied to the December 7th elections. And
Okay.
I think that the two major political parties, MPP and DC, you know, have enough protective whatever to make sure that the elections are the results are credible. That I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, great. So FI is confident that the two political parties are going to at least stand their grounds and ensure that the elections are credible. Do you have the same hope that FI is expressing, Mr. Paul Isosu? Are you very hopeful about the fact that we have our BVDs still not found, about 10 of them or so? Do you have hope that even though those machines are out there, that the two political parties will still be able to ward off any attempt to manipulate the elections? Paul.
Well, thank you very much for for this question. This is the first time I've ever heard an MPP communicator, speaking as a Ghanaian since the time that we in the NDC, through our source, we got to know that some BVDs have missing in the LEC's office. Because if the EC is not in bed, it is very, very, very strange that as a commission, if you have about almost 8 to 10 of your BVD missing, the right thing for you to do is you have reported straight to the stakeholders. Because in this game, you are not in the game alone. You have stakeholders. But they hid this information away from us. Our sources from the EC gave us that hint. When we confronted them before they admitted that, yes, some of the BVD machines are gone missing. Alfred, the question you need to ask Brother Ifa and his MPP government is, the EC office have security cameras all over. They have armed military men at the entrance. And how come that those machines got missing in a security zone? For me, it's straightforward. Brother Ifa and his NPP have connived with the EC, and they think they can use this cheap, popular propaganda to rig the election. But we want to send a note of warning to them that we are very vigilant. We are going to monitor, we are going to track, and we are going to make sure that those who are behind this, the stealing of these BVDs are exposed. Alfred, as we speak, the NDC has instructed all its agents in all the polling stations that we should record the serial numbers of the BVD that is being used to do the limited registration. We are going to ensure that those serial numbers matches with the number of people that every BVD will register. And at the end of it, if the EC think they can do their mischief propaganda to add names to favor the New Patriotic Party, this is not going to happen.
But
because this time around,
Paul, how are you going to verify that a person has registered with a specific BVD? With the person's registration, for instance, if I come to vote, would you be able to tell which BVD he registered me or not?
It is simple, Alfred. Alfred, this is data analysis, data reconciliation, data integrity, and data assessment. This is what it is. Let's say we have BVDA, serial number ABCD. Okay, this serial number ABCD, we know that it is in Asokwa Primary A. It is registered in the system. We know day one, we had only 3 people registering with that BVD. Day 2, we know the number. At the end of the exercise, we know the number of people who registered on that BVD with serial number ABCD. So therefore, we have that information. Hold on. Therefore, we have that information in our system. I want to state over here that the NDC is very vigilant. We are collecting all results from the field. Those ones that has been contested, we've taken note of it. At the end of the exercise, the EC, we know the number of voters or the number of people on the voter register, and if we do our reconciliation and integrate the data, and we see any differences in the data, we will raise red flag. We will do meticulous auditing of all BVDs in the field, vis-a-vis the number of people registered in the day, vis-a-vis the total number of people registered on that BVD at the end of the limited registration exercise. So if Brother Efa and their NPP and the EC think they can use any mischievous means to get their people registered to rig this 2024 election, then they should revise their nose, because we will not sit down this time around for what happened in 2020 to happen. All that I'm saying is that we are asking and we are going to demand that, and we've instructed all our agents in the various police stations to register the serial numbers of this BVD daily. Also, they should give us daily tally of people that get registered with that BVD. For us, they can do whatever they want to do. Now, information that I've gathered is that we even know the serial numbers of those BVD that the EC has refused to give to us. Alfred, would this surprise you? Apart from the NPP, all other stakeholders in the political party who attend IPAC are asking the EC to provide the list of the BVD that is missing. As we speak today, the EC has refused to do it, and the NPP is supporting the EC. If the NPP don't have any collaboration, if they don't have any connection with the EC, I should not see the reason why they should be supporting the EC doing a very poor job, doing a job that does not bring integrity to the upcoming election. As Brother Efa said, I am putting on record, this is the first time I've ever heard an NPP communicator, okay, speaking as a Ghanaian, removing the NPP colors aside, and then speaking to the benefit of Ghana. The 2024 election, we want peace in Ghana. Therefore, peace will only come if we have a fair, transparent, and an election that everybody can count on, that everybody can say, in fact, indeed, this election was fought with integrated data, and that there's no data compromisation. No data has been compromised. That's what we are asking for. And we are expecting that Brother Efa and his MPP should do the right thing. They should support us. Let's put the EC in check. Let's make sure that the EC does the right thing so that the election will be fought on fair grounds, so that when the NPP loses, they will accept it. When the NDC win, we'll accept it. And of course, this election is a win for the NDC. Whether they like it or not, we are going to win this election. Brother Efa and his MPP, they have shown to Ghanaians that they are visionless, they are aimless, they are super incompetent, they are corrupt to the highest level, and that as we speak, they've paid money to people that they cannot even account for. This is not the government we call for. This is not the government we ask. These are the people, this is all the Ghanaians put their vote and their faith in when they voted for this incompetent, visionless, and directionless government in
All right.
2016. I am here to let Brother Efa announce to the MPP that we will do everything in our...
All right, Paul. Let's minimize the incompetence and all the other
fair,
adjectives.
transparent.
Okay, but Paul, let's minimize the adjectives. I want us to have a very fair conversation. So yes, I kind of glean from everything you
there's
said.
nothing like minimizing adjectives. It is true. It's a fact that the NPP is a visionless government. They are super incompetent. They are aimless. They don't have vision. They've taken the country to retrogress 10 years back. And it's a fact. Today, as we speak, dollar is going from $1 to almost 14.35 Ghana cedi. That is a shame.
Okay, so be that as it may, right? Granted you that they may be incompetent, but I'm saying you can say it in a better way, right? You can say they are not doing a good job, but I'm saying let's not be too negative, right? So
I don't think I'm being negative. It's the fact, it's a fact. A fact is a fact.
Okay, so let's move on.
Ask Brother Efa how much is the dollar to a cedi. Ask him if he can say it. Ask if he has the confidence to say it. Ask him.
Okay. Paul, so what I've gleaned from your narration is that you are not confident that those BVDs in the hands of others other than the EC is not likely to pose a threat, that the threat is real, it exists. The NDC, by their own machinations through the background, were able to identify what those machines' serial numbers are. So I don't think there should be too much of a worry. Since you already have the machines numbers, you have a means and a basis for tracking and comparing, if anyone were to register using the missing BVDs, right? So being that you have machines from
Alfred,
your own investigation,
yeah, that is why we are saying that the EC should not play any funny game. Because you remember when we asked our people to gather the serial numbers or the BVDs, the EC came with a strong letter saying that it's going to compromise data security and all those stuff. If the EC have nothing to hide, they should be the first people rather to be requesting that let this information go out so that everybody will have a clear mind. But we are telling them, and we are sending a note of caution to them. We, through our own sources, we are getting information, and we have got information about those missing BVDs. If they don't know and they add it to the list of the BVDs that are known to all of us, we'll raise issues.
But Paul, you couldn't just, as a single individual political party, impose cost on Electoral Commission, right? You couldn't just ask them to go outside of the duties outlined in the mandates they have to go and identify each BVD numbers for you. That would be a lot of work, wouldn't it be? Perhaps you have that data somewhere, but wouldn't that be a little bit of work that will include cost that you are imposing on them?
No, Alfred, there's no cost involved here. Let me tell you, if I will admit, okay, the BVD and the forms that the agent will sign at the end of every day have a portion whereby it's stated that the serial number of BVD need to be recorded. So what is the work here? What is the cost are we costing? There is no cost implication in this. Accept the fact that they have to do and make sure that this election, they play it on the fair grounds, it is transparent, open, and in data integrity is protected. That's all we are asking from the EC. Nothing more, nothing less. When we trust that when the EC does the right thing, nobody will have the cause to complain and say that the EC has compromised this election. We need peace, and the peace that we need, we all have to work hand in hand to make sure that we get that peace in Ghana. And I should say it, I'm so impressed about Brother Ifa. The way Brother Ifa was very confident to state and then put political lenses aside and stated that if these BVD machines are not, located, it can cause a threat to our election. And I'm so proud. This is what we want Ghanaians, this is what we want meaningful Ghanaians to come out to make. Not because I'm an NDC, and if we happen to be in government and this is happening, I'll support this thing blindly. I will not support this thing blindly. So for me, I'm happy that Brother Ifa has seen the light and he has been able to come here and putting his political colors aside and spoken the truth as it is.
All right, Brother Ifa. I couldn't sing your praise higher than Paul is already doing. So I'm always happy when two political parties of course agree on something. Now, so the agreement we all have here, or the two of you are sharing, that I'm hearing, is that there is an issue with the EC sort of losing this thing and agreeing to disclose serial numbers, and they're not sending the right signals. And you are calling for police to investigate a police system in which you don't trust. You don't think the administration has any investigatorial institutions that you trust enough to do any meaningful investigation of this issue. So that risk still exists to you, right? So I guess my question is, what can we do as a country, as a party? What would you, if you were put in a position to make a recommendation, what would be your recommendation to the Electoral Commission or to the government of Ghana?
Yeah, thank you very much, and a very quick reaction to what this thing said. Okay, so when I talk about the EC and what it do, you see, we in the MPP have a feeling that the BVDs, the BVRs are in the possession of the NDC. You see, and that is why we are worried about what they are.
If you do, then why wouldn't you be? I think your action.
So when you suspect, because okay, how did they get the serial numbers?
But Paul, it seems your actions contradict. I say, Paul, what you're saying doesn't match your actions, right? Because if you believe the opposition party has the missing machines, you would have been the one agitating for the EC to do something about that, right?
But
Because
the
you
EC has given it. The EC has given it to the police. The police is investigating. So what else do you want us to do?
same police you don't trust.
Yeah, but what do you want? I mean, what else do you want us to do apart from giving it to the police? What
No,
else?
so I'm asking you for solution. What would be, because again,
Exactly, investigation. That's it. We trust them. We don't trust them. That is what we have. That is what them. But I want them to do is that you see, the NDC is cunning anyway, right? They are very cunning. It is like the thief in the KJTR. You see, the same thief is calling on somebody else as if that person is a thief. We are not in bed with the EC, okay? You see, the police is investigating.
you don't
And
have
you
any.
see, I don't know if there's any institutions that they don't have trusted people in there, in Ghana. Both parties, all right? They have trusted people in the EC, and they have trusted people in almost every government institutions and all that kind of stuff. We can do better than going certain tangent, okay? What I want them to do is, you see, they're psyching their people towards, the defeat that is awaiting them in December 7th, which is okay. So the BVDs are not there. Somebody has come in. So it will compromise the elections.
Very
We know
fast.
that.
Let me laugh.
Hold
But
on.
did you say defeat? Did you say
Hold on.
defeat?
Hold on.
No, did you
Hold
say
on. Hold on.
defeat?
Paul,
Did you
let
say
him
defeat?
land, please.
Paul, can you hold on? Hold on. Yeah, we
Did
are
I hear
defeating you
defeat?
guys. Yes. No two ways about that. We are breaking the 8. But we are not going to say it and relax, right? That's why we are campaigning, and we are going to tell the good people of Ghana what we've done, the legacy that we have, and how it would take us to protect those legacies and give them more. No two ways about that. But let's deal with the issue when it comes to legacies and what others have done. We can deal with that. We take thematic areas and deal with that, you know. So here is what is happening right here. Somebody managed to steal these things. We suspect it's the NDC. They know the serial numbers. They are monitoring the election with it, but then they go to the EC for it. You know it.
All right, I think we lost Brother F over there, so I will still wait.
Is it? But if I is just throwing out lies,
Okay,
mischief. He's just throwing out
Hello,
lies
can you hear me?
and throwing that into that. We
yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you. Yeah, come on,
Something
let's go.
Can you hear me? I can't
We
hear
can
you
hear
again.
you. All right,
No.
maybe you try to
We can
reconnect.
hear you. Brother, if
But
I
Paul,
can
let's
hear you.
so,
Let me
Paul,
come
when you
back on.
finish.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
Sure.
Hold on one second.
Alfred, you don't
Yeah.
allow a fire to come and sit here and be throwing dust into the eyes of your listeners. What evidence does he have to show that the NDC stole those BVDs? If how can somebody NDC stealing the
I
BVDs
think I've
and
is
at the
back.
same time with the NDC will be raising red flag? How can that be possible?
Well,
You
I
see,
think his explanation is that you guys are a bit canny, and of course, and we've seen it in our system, right, where the thief will say thief, calling somebody
it's
else
not
thief. Right?
true.
So I think
It's not
he's
true.
setting that as the analogy.
It is not true. The truth of the fact of the case is that these
Uh-huh.
BVD machines were missing. The
Mhm,
EC refused to talk about it. Through our internal source, we got the
mhm,
hint. We confronted the EC. The EC admitted that yes, those BVD machines have gotten missing and they are looking
mhm.
for it. And the question we asked was that if you have stakeholders and you have gotten or these sensitive devices are missing, how come that you've not informed the stakeholders? You waited for the stakeholders to find out to come and confront you. If you don't have any
So,
bad motive, why should you be doing that? That is the
so
question, and that is the debate.
I guess the question to you is, how did you get the numbers?
Okay, Alfred, of course, there's a database. These BVDs have, I mean, we used them in the past, okay? The way we got the hint from the inside, the serial numbers of those one that are missing, those BVD are missing, the same way we are getting hint from the inside that those serial numbers that are missing, we are getting hint about it. The EC should not, in their widest dream, think that, I mean, they can just take us for granted. We are monitoring, we are watching them, we are not going to leave any stone unturned. We are going to do our due diligence to ensure that this coming election is fought on a transparent, fair grounds. Nobody's going to get an advantage like the way they did it for them in 2016, 2020. It is not going to happen. We are going to ensure that everything is done on a transparent grounds. So that whoever loses the election will admit to and accept the results the way it is. As we speak, if the EC has a very good motive, if the EC think they are not hiding anything away from the good people of Ghana, why is it that these sensitive devices got missing? They kept quiet over it until we confronted them before they admitted it. If you remember, when this thing got missing, when we came out, they denied. But later they came out to admit that yes, some component of the BVD is missing, not the BVD stuff. You see, when you're doing this thing, you have question on trust and integrity. The EC should sit up. The EC should know that we are watching them. And this time around, I've stated, I'm going to state over here, we will not allow the EC to manipulate and play the election in the way they did in 2020. This time around, we'll ensure that everything is done with integrity. Everything is done with credibility. We will make sure that the NPP be in bed in the EC will be a thing of the past. If Jane Mensah think he can rig the election in favor of the NPP, that is why Brother Ifa say that they are breaking the 8. Then I'm sorry to announce to Brother Ifa this afternoon that they cannot break the 8. With the corruption that has ungoverned this government, with the incompetency that has ungoverned this government, there is no way the good people of Ghana will vote for this super incompetent, visionless, and aimless government. As we speak, I am telling you, Alfred, $1 is going for over 14 Ghana cedi. When NDC was handing over to these super incompetent people, $1 was to 4.2 Ghana cedi. Now, as we speak, $1 is more than 40.35 Ghana cedi.
I mean, with your dollar analogy, you got to also take into consideration all the things that happen, right? Even if you look at the United States where you sit, by the time the U.S. government,
those time that NDC was in government, we did the consideration of the economic global effect, right?
Yeah, right? But let me just give you a quick analogy here, right? So you will notice that when Trump was handing over to not even Trump. Let's go back to 2016, right? When Trump took over, interest rate were like the risk-free rate in the United States was almost less than 1%, right? So
average.
Today is about 5%.
I did business management. I did business analysis. I understand. I am not saying that the dollar rate should remain at 4.2 the way we handed over to them. Of course, it would vary, but the rate at the variation is very, very shameful. We were here when this incompetent.
I mean, our currency is one that fluctuates a lot.
Hold on, Alfred. Don't try to defend the indefensible.
I'm not defending them. I'm just trying to be rational.
We're here when the shameless Baumia mounted a puppet and told us when the fundamentals are weak, the dollar will expose you. The question I want to ask Brother Ifa is: the fundamentals weak under the aimless visionless Baumia? Is that the question?
Okay. So if we can stay focused, we are not here to deal with interest rates and exchange rates and stuff like
that. You cannot talk about it.
Of course I can talk about it. We can talk about. We can have a discussion. But okay, what if I want to talk about government official one? What if I want? I mean, we gotta have another. We have another. What if I want to talk about government official one?
There is nothing like government official one. There is nothing of life.
What if I want to talk about? What if I want to talk about the lawsuit against Sami Jemfi that he lied and now he doesn't know. He doesn't know what.
All right, welcome back. Well, this is
Alfred,
I love you, but you need to stop fighting. Yes.
Alfred, you are killing my fire. You are killing my fire this afternoon. Who is
what fire?
Government officer one? You have to ask
Mahama is government official one.
Come on, guys. We are not here to talk about government official one. Okay, let's concentrate, right?
Oh, Martinamidi said it. Oh, it's not true. You don't believe him no more. So you believe
When
you believe him when he said somebody is mother serpent of corruption, but you don't believe him when he said somebody is government official one, right?
I'm
You
happy
don't
you
believe that.
admitted. I'm happy you have admitted that your president is a mother serpent of
No, but
corruption.
it's
I'm happy you
Muhammad
have
government.
admitted.
It's Muhammad government official one.
There is
Yeah,
not any document where
guys.
it is written that Muhammad is government official one.
But there's a document that says somebody is mother serpent of corruption, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Because
that's
of
how
this,
it is.
wait,
Because of these things, that is why Semi Demfi will end up in court and would have to pay for lying. Yes,
Okay,
he's paying, right?
let's go back to
Lies. You go about lying. We will expose you one after the other.
you see,
And
okay,
when
but
worse comes to worse, we will take you to court and you pay.
you see,
Mm.
I'm
Afa, you in the
disappointed that
middle of your presentation.
Easy.
Paul,
So
let
let's
me
stay
ask
focused.
you
We
this.
cannot pick and choose what we want to talk about. Okay, there's
Afa,
a topic.
you in the middle
There's
of
a
your
topic here, and that is what we gotta do. Okay, we are
okay,
here
Afa,
to debate the issue.
you in the middle of your presentation, so I'll give you the chance to finish it, and
E-
then we can
e-
switch
e-
over. Mhm.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that if you listen to the NDC and the information they're giving us, in fact, they have enough information to use it. The way they even publicizing it, right? It even beats me. Now something has missing. You have the serial numbers. You know the serial numbers can pop up in these elections. You go about telling the whole world and threatening the EC and all that. Who does that? Who does these things though? This is intelligence. The EC is refusing to give you certain things. You have that information you're seeking from the EC. Use that behind the scene. Let these things go and then come and tell us that, okay, so when we did this registration, the BVRs, the BVDs that we say are lost, the serial numbers have popped up in here. You are just conjecturing, crucifying them because you know you're going to lose. Because you know you are losing the elections, you see, you are doing like you always done. Oh, people are going to be disenfranchised. This person is in bed with this, and blah blah blah. No, that's not what it is. The good people of Ghana need a campaign message. They need you to deal with their issues. You are everywhere and nowhere. Stay focused, okay? And give us something based on which we can follow you. But today you are here, tomorrow you are there. How did you get the serial numbers? How did you get certain things? So the thing is
You
lost. The EC hasn't given it to you. How did you get it?
well,
Why
okay,
do you
so
have it and still calling the EC for them? Why do you
because
have it and still
because
asking the
because you
EC to
guys
give
know
it to
what you are
you?
doing. You guys know what you are doing. You
No,
and
you
the
know what
EC,
you're doing.
you
We
and
are
the EC
we
know
are
what you are
daring
doing.
you. Take this step and take it to NDC. The BVRs are with the NDC. You guys have them. I'm telling you today. The
If I
Afa,
NDC found a way to steal it, to compromise the elections, and use that as a way to do something in the country. Stop that.
Afa,
if
That's
I
not good.
if I
Afa,
if I
I
if
am
I
putting it to you.
if I
okay.
How did you get the serial numbers? How? Who gave it to
Alfred,
you? Give us the
Alfred,
names. You have
Alfred,
people in there that are
let
doing
this
internal job
be
for
on
you.
record.
But we are
Let it
telling
be
you,
on record that
no matter what you do, you cannot steal these elections. You
Alfred,
can't.
Alfred,
You cannot. It
you
is
see,
going to be free
you see,
and it's
you see,
going to be fair. I'm
you see,
telling
it
you,
is the thief.
NDC.
It is
So
the thief.
let us
It
deal
is
with
the
the
thief when he's
issues.
being caught. He'll be yelling and
Ah,
shouting on top of you.
you
That's
like
what
the
Epa is
thief. You
doing.
see, that's something that has been studied. We haven't found it, but you have almost some free information about around it.
Who told you?
How?
Okay,
Who told you haven't found it? You and your
guys,
party know where
let
those
me
BVs
Oh,
moderate
are.
the
you know what?
You and
Oh, you
your
know what the
party,
BVRs are?
you and the
You see,
NDC and
Alfred,
the NDC,
you see,
you know
they
where those
know what the
BVs are.
BVRs are. They
You
found
know where
it.
those BVs are.
NDC had found the
You know where
BVRs.
the BVs are. So
You
please
know
stop.
what the BVRs and the BVDs are.
You know where it is. Stop rigging this election.
We
We
don't.
will not
We
allow you
don't
to
know.
rig the election with the
We
connivance
don't
of the
know.
EC. We will put you guys in check.
We have
I am
we have
sending a note
we
of
have
caution to you
succeeded
guys.
in
Whether
killing
you
all
like it
your
or not,
we have
we know where
succeeded
those
in killing
BVDs are.
all your
We know the
election
serial numbers.
stealing
And if you
mechanisms.
try,
We will finish them all. The elections are going to be free and fair. Watch it. Nobody is stealing anybody. Come,
all right.
don't go and take illiterate polling agents. Collect results. Those are the things that win elections. Not talk. The press conference here, this thing here, throwing us all over the place. No, when issues come, let us deal with the issues.
Okay,
Go
guys.
to the police and ask them how far they've gone with their investigations. But because you know you have them, because you know what you've done, you see why you've taken it. Go to the police. They are the ones that investigate criminals. Where
You
are
see,
they? Go
Alfred,
and request for
Alfred,
information from the police. You won't
Well,
do
Alfred,
that.
Alfred,
obviously, a spy is heated, so we like the
Alfred,
energy. Yes,
Alfred,
sir.
Alfred. Listen to me. Let Brother Ifa understand this afternoon that no matter how mischievous he plays on this
What,
show this afternoon,
what is
okay,
the mischief?
I am putting on record to him that he and the NPP and the EC, they know what those missing BVDs are, and we are
Oh no,
saying
you
that
do.
if they think they can play mischief and then use that
We
BVD
don't
to
we don't
register
know the
people
serial
and
numbers, but
add
you
them.
do.
If I can you let me
Answer.
talk? If I can you let me
Okay,
talk?
A car is trading from a factory. We don't know,
guys.
but you know the chassis number of the car. Aye, these
Okay,
people.
guys. Let's
If I
let's
if
do
I
this. Let's do this. Let's wrap
Oh
up
boy,
on
he
the
said easy
BVD.
people. Oh my God.
Let's wrap up on the BVD issue. But
hello,
again, I would plead with you to minimize the interruption of each other so that we can have a
exactly,
meaningful conversation. There are
exactly,
people
exactly.
listening.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Alfred, Alfred,
Okay,
when
so guys,
Brother Ifa was
yeah,
talking, I interjected, but it was very minimal. So you should allow me to make my submission. I am stating on
yes,
this
I
show,
think we have
and I
we
am
have that
saying,
agreement now.
I'm saying that the MPP and the EC knows whereabouts of those missing BVD machines. And I am stating on this record that if they think they can use those BVD and BVRs to register people and add them to the electoral list, they should revise their nose. Because we, due to our intelligence and what we know those serial numbers, and we will not allow the EC and the MPP to use those missing BVD machines to get people through the back door to the electoral voter register. It is not going to happen. We are saying, and we are sending a note of caution to them. If they think that whatever they did in 2020, they can repeat it in 2024, then they should revise their notes. The NDC is vigilant. Our chairman has stated it. We will not leave any stone unturned. We will make sure that audit and very transparent register is used for this 2024 election. And we, the NDC, we are very optimistic that we will be winning the 2024 election. No matter the propaganda, no matter the buying of vote, no matter whether the EFA and his party will go around saying we, for the youth, we are still going to win this election. We know we are prepared. We know we've done our homework. We know we are putting out convincing policies such as the 24/7 policy, which is killing EFA and his government. We are ready for them. No mischief, no propaganda, no rigging of the 2024 election.
All right, thank you, brother Paul. Effa, I want to hear your last word on this topic so we can, then go to the next thing.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is very unpatriotic. In fact, it is even part of criminality for a person to know that a stolen item is within a certain confinement, which is within a certain rate, and that person will keep that information away from investigators. It is unpatriotic, it is criminal, and those who indulge in such things can only be described as wicked and don't really want the progress of the country. So that is that. Having said that, all I want to say is that we all must be vigilant and raise issues that we see with regards to our elections, the electoral process, and everything with regards to development in the country. Now, when you sit down and you know that these are the ways to improve upon a particular system, but all you do is to criticize and chastise a particular state institution because you see defeat in your face and because you see that for all these while that you've been in power and even in opposition, you've not been able to articulate your policies properly. You go and pick something that you promised that you couldn't deliver and rebrand it and all that kind of stuff. The good people of Ghana are now very alive to their issues and they know that there is this person that is dilly dally. So if that is what is confronting you, you should go sit back and look at the policies that you are presenting. Don't take your frustrations and what have you on the EC. and stuff like that. We have clearly demonstrated what it takes to govern, how policies are articulated, and how those policies, when you implement them, will really help the good people of Ghana. And that is what the good people of Ghana are waiting. And come December 7th, I'm appealing to everybody, including the NDC, renew our mandate to continue to deliver the good stuff. You know, have we done everything? No, but we have done enough to demonstrate to you that when you put the two political parties side by side, there is not a match. We are a match. And Dr. Mahmoud Baumia is the man December 7th to be voted for. Vote for him massively. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you.
If I,
Hi. Everybody seems to be campaigning for their candidate at
Alfred,
the moment, so we
Alfred,
know for sure.
Alfred.
Let's not.
I thought we've all had our last. What do you?
Alfred,
Why you don't want to move to
Alfred,
the next topic? You don't
Alfred,
want to
Let's
move to
move
the
on to
next
the next
topic.
thing.
Oh
he
boy,
started,
Alfred, give him, and then when you give him, give me too.
Yeah, Paul.
Alfred.
Let's just. I mean, you've said enough, right? Let's go.
No,
I don't
Alfred,
think there's anything new. I don't think there's anything new you're gonna say, Paul.
Alfred, there's a lot of new things I'm going to say. A lot of new things I'm going to say. Look, Alfred, let me put on record
All right,
that
take 1 minute. Take 1 minute.
let me put on record that the lie that was sent from the Jubilee House given to Brother Ifa and the communicators to talk about this BVD machine is not going to hold. I am putting and I'm sending a note of caution to Brother Ifa that the NDC, we are very, very, very confident in our policies. We know what we can provide. We know what we've done. When we come to the economic indicators, the NDC shows to be a better political party than the MPP. So for me, for Brother Ifa to come and sit here and not ashamed of himself, to be saying that Baumia has a very good economic policy. The only good economic policy Baumia has is that that's the only economic policy he has. He has
All right,
nothing over the
let's
good
go.
people of
And
Ghana.
someone too has show. No, brother, said show right.
All right, let's go. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Ghana Agenda, and we've been talking about the Electoral Commission and the issues that have currently cropped up, with especially having to lose a couple of BVDs or BVRs, whichever the case is, and the fact that such machines may have some implications for our elections. The two political parties seem to, agree that it's not the best, situation to kind of be in at the moment, because we are kind of getting closer to election. And I mean, there are cameras there, so some of those things could have been seen. But that aside, ours is a country wash in a lot of scandals. And so, regardless of the political party or the government in office, there always seems to be some scandal that we have to deal with. The latest one is SML, a company that was formed in 2017 right after the New Patriotic Party came into power. And without much of past performance or experience in the field of auditing, they were given the contract to audit revenue at the ports. Now, that wasn't by itself, they were not a prime contractor. In other words, they were subcontracted to the company that was already doing it. But soon as that company had to do a recompete for the same contract, I believe the incumbent was replaced with them. Of course, they've now gained some experience, so why not? And of course, because they were subcontracting at the point, they didn't need to go to parliament. But then the contract got expanded apparently at some point, where they now were put in charge of also monitoring just depot distribution of petroleum in the downstream. So what is the downstream? Okay, so the structure of our gas exploration is such that the drilling of the gas and pulling it from the ground and bringing it all the way to the shore and processing it, we call that the upstream. Now, when it comes from the ground, we process it, we go and put it in tanks or we store it in the downstream. Now, it's also when we import them from overseas or from Nigeria and all these other places that we get petroleum from, we bring them into those same depots or tanks, we call them reservoirs, within the downstream. And now in the downstream, we have a lot of losses, some of which could be due to temperature, due to, we stealing, due to so many different, things that you can just think of, right? It could be temperature, it could be cylinder being not calibrated to read properly. So there is just so many different factors that leads to inaccuracies in the numbers of what has been taken from the depot to what has been reported at the distribution centers, and the subsequent tax that gets tax revenues that we as a country generate from that. Because of those losses, my understanding is SML was brought in to extend their auditing capabilities to embrace such losses as well, so that every ounce or every drop of oil that we sell in the country is accounted for. Apparently that contract hasn't gone well, but let me go back to the politicals and kind of get the understanding of what the very issues are and why should we be concerned, and if there are any lessons. I mean, why do we keep having these scandals in every administration? Every administration, it's just a couple of scandals away from us coming back to scream at each other. What can we do to solve these things? Paul and Effa, I don't know if you heard my solo attempt to explain what happened with the SML situation. Let me start with Effa on this one. Effa,
No, start with Paul. They have the issues, and we answer, right?
well, because you are in government, I'm thinking
Okay.
you have some hints on
You
how
see,
this whole
Alfred, I can start with this issue. You see, this SML thinking contract is another plan.
How many minutes anyway? How many minutes, Alfred? It's
Okay, so we
important.
are going to end on this, and we have. I think we should be doing this for another 30 minutes. So, so let's take Paul. Take a whole 10 minutes to yourself, right? So it's 3:15 now. I'll stop you at 3:30. So take
Okay,
10
thank
minutes.
you.
10 minutes on your own. I'll stop you at 3:25, and tell us from the beginning to the end to end, what your
Okay, thank
understanding
you.
of this scandal is, and yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muzu. And you see, this SML scandal is stinking deal that involves the presidency, that involves, the chief mafias, that involves the top MPP officials. Why am I saying
Oh
so?
boy.
You see, this scandal or this deal is duplicity of the already existing job that is being done by the GRA, GMPC vis-a-vis TOR. Mr. Muzu, if you take a critical look at the documentary that the fourth arm of the fourth estate put out
Fourth
there,
estate, yeah.
yes, it clearly tells you that the IT director of SML himself admitted to the question that was posed to him, that the exercise they are doing is not duplication of what is already being done, and he admitted to it that it is, yes, to his opinion, it's a duplication. Not only that, Mustafa Hamid, who said, Isa Allah, Wallahi, Talai, Ghana is suffering. And he was crying crocodile tears when they were in opposition. He himself has stated, and it's on record, that the deal is a duplicity of already existing processes. So for me, this tax is another orchestrated scheme by Brother Ifa and his MPP to steal the taxpayers' money. As we speak, 2 billion Ghana cedi has been paid to these people for no work done. And it is so very sad, very, very wicked at the part of Nanado Baumia, Brother Efa, and the NPP to be doing this to the good people of Ghana. What is the SML deal all about? They brought this dubious SML to take records of oil that comes into the country vis-a-vis the worst one that goes out, so that we can give a good track record of how the distribution is done. Mr. Amuzu, the GRA, the Ghana Petroleum Authority, this already is being done. There is nothing new that the SML has brought on board that they deserve to be taking this huge amount of money from the government of Ghana.
But Paul, there's an argument out there that since they came in, we've seen revenue grow.
It is not true, Mr. Amuzu. The more your productivity or your consumption increases, the more fuel or consumption that will come in. So for me, this is not any valid argument for them to be making. All it is that this is a deal that was cooked for Brother Efa and his NPP government to make money out of the good people of Ghana. Mr. Amuzu, do you know that SML was registered when NPP won election in 2016?
Yeah,
and when they had government in 2017? They have
what has that to do
no
with-
prior experience in what they are doing. So for me, once the fourth arm of state did the investigation and they were able to interview Mustafa Hamid, they were able to interview the SML director, and they all admitted to the fact that there was no need for this thing to be done. That is enough.
But Paul,
Mr. Muzu, the question we need to ask ourselves as we speak is, why has the president refused to release the audit report that they contracted Ernst & Young to undertake? They refuse to release the audit report because they know that if they release that audit report, it will confirm what the fourth arm of government, the state of, was saying. What revelation, the stinking connection, the stinking agreement that was done without the prior approval of parliament. All these things will be showing. You know what? Keno Foriata single-handedly gave this contract out without the prior approval of Parliament of Ghana. So for me, they know that whatever they will do, they will be exposed. Because we are in election year, they know that if they allow the full audit report to be put in out there, a lot of questions will come that Baumia will not be able to answer.
so Paul,
Mr. Abuzu, you
Paul.
know for a fact that under the administration of the NDC, Mahama allowed the Gida report to go out. We didn't hide or sit on any report. What is the NPP and Nanado and Baumia are hiding from the good people of Ghana? The reason why they've refused to release the SML report, they should tell us. If I should tell us this afternoon, the corruption in this government is to a level whereby every single other day there's a new corruption scandal that is coming out. As we speak, it is just known that they paid $11 million for no work done at Palugu Dam. You see, this MPP government,
Wow.
they are very incompetent. They are
Hold up,
super
Paul.
incompetent. They don't know what they are doing. They keep on stealing the good people's money. And for me, this SML deal, if Nanado believes he has not done anything wrong, if Nanado believes that it is very fair and transparent, he should release the report.
Paul, you still have up to 25, but I have a question for you. There could be a multitude of reasons why a report will not be released, right? Especially if it contains proprietary information that should not necessarily be in the public domain. There shouldn't be.
Alfred, don't even go there. Don't even go there. There is nothing like, very sensitive information in that report. There is nothing of that sort. Alfred, there is nothing of that sort. This report is to the benefit of the good people of Ghana. The good people of Ghana contracted this government to take the affair of this country. So therefore, if that was appointed by the good people of Ghana, the good people of Ghana have every right to know about this report. So don't defend
Okay,
this government and
Paul.
tell us that there's sensitive information that the government don't want to put out there. There's nothing of that sort. It is full
Okay,
of
but I'm
corruption.
saying,
When that report come out, you see how evil Brother Efa and his MPP government are. You see how this I don't even know the word to use. You see how this motivated this report will come
okay,
to the revelation that the MPP are full of bunch of corrupt executives, and that's what they are.
Paul. The
Alfred, we
president's
can't hear
white
you. You are
paper.
on mute.
The president's white paper. Can you hear me
Alfred,
now?
you are on mute. We can't hear you.
You can hear. You can. I can hear. I can hear him. Why can't you hear him?
Yeah, Paul. Maybe something is wrong with your. I can hear me. So, Paul, the
I can't
question I
hear you,
wanted to
Alfred.
ask you. Paul,
Oh
go out
boy.
and come back in.
Oh boy.
Okay, he's gonna come back in.
Yeah,
I
you
want-
gotta wait for him to come.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can hear you now.
Sorry. I think
Okay.
you. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, Paul. The question I had for you is, the president's white paper indicated clearly that the contract was illegal, right? Because it wasn't taken through the right channels, that it was illegal. What more do you need?
Alfred, we need to see the full report because there is more to that. There is more to that. We need to see the full report. We need to see who in the presidency gave that contract out. We want to know the people involved so that when we ask them to frame the law, we know the people will go after. The president is protecting his own. He's protecting Ken Oforiatta and his family members because he knows very well that what they did was wrong. They were not supposed to enter into such a contract without the proud approval of the Parliament of Ghana.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I think you are 1 minute left. Do you want to use it for anything,
Yes,
or you want to
yes,
reserve
yes.
it for? You
For
want to
me,
reserve it for commission?
for me, this is another clear example of how inefficient, super incompetent this government is. Apart from this stinking SML deal, the Palugu Dam, they've paid $11 million for no work done.
Oh
The Ejapa
boy.
deal, $12 million for
Really?
no work done.
You're
The
not in Palangere.
Skyway, $2 million
SML.
for no work
SML.
done.
What
This
Paul?
government keep on to cause financial loss to the good people of Ghana, and let Brother Efa read my lips. When power takes over, when we take over the affair of this country on 7th January 2025, they will answer for all these scandals. They will answer for all this corruption. The good people of Ghana will not let them go to sleep. They should not tell us we are witch hunting them. We are going to ask for accountability, and accountability is what we will ask for when we take over power. Thank you.
All right. Accountability would definitely be the theme song for the next administration. And the next administration, luckily, if it is the NDC, right? If it is not the NDC, then of course, Afa, would you be asking for accountability even if Baumia were to stay in power?
Accountability is an ongoing thing. It is not a preserve of anybody to us. Anybody at any point in time can ask that. And if what we've done in the case of the SML is not accountability, I don't know what else is accountability.
But what have you done?
Sometimes
You were forced to actually initiate this investigation by
you say forced? Who forced who?
The allegations were so ripe that the president was his hands were
no, we were not forced. No.
But
I mean,
this matter came to Parliament's attention. It was raised, and then it eventually got the president's attention to initiate the KPMG investigation, right?
Okay, so we need to understand how governance works.
So I'm making that point to say that the president on his own, didn't just on his own initiative, as part of all the accountability.
How will you know, Paul? How will you know that your child is not performing well in school, or say your wife has gone somewhere to mess up if you don't hear? Or if it doesn't come to your attention.
Okay, so
the president is not everywhere to know what is happening right now somewhere at Bokobi or a particular agency or things like that. No.
Hear my full comments, and then you can come back in, right? What I'm saying is the presidency as the head of state has several accountability institutions under his purview. He has the Institute of Internal Auditors who are auditing all these SIGA, institutions every year. He
Right.
has even outside auditors
Right.
reviewing contracts every
Right.
year. He
Right.
has anti-corruption institutions like IOCO and co
Right.
watchdogs in the system who are
Right.
monitoring these things and delivering reports to him. So you are
Right.
telling me that he mixed all of those accountability institutions. He has to take an outsider for the president to know that, oh, by the way, a contract that is illegal has been. Imagine, we are talking about monitoring of our petroleum industry, right?
Yeah.
To ensure that our revenue which we hardly come by. The reason we are in
Right.
all the trouble we are in is because we're not able to generate enough revenue to meet the expenditures, right? And one of
Right.
the ways we
Right.
want to solve that is to get a contract out there to ensure that at least the flow of oil coming from our depots to the distribution centers have been properly accounted for. And you telling me the
Yeah.
president is not aware that the contract that is to ensure that that happens has been issued out to a company and that it didn't go through the right processes? I find that hard to believe, but
Yeah.
over to
Where you want to. I mean, you can believe what you want to believe, but you are saying it as if even in this sophisticated part of the world, they don't act on a report from the Wall Street Journal or from the New York Times about something that is happening in government, whether it's a particular contract or a project that is ongoing. These things do happen everywhere. They do. So when it comes to your attention, then you call for whatever, and then you act upon it. I mean, we've had issues in the system that has not been acted upon. So I don't see.
no, no, no.
I don't. I don't
I hate
see.
to
I,
interrupt
I
you.
don't even see. I don't even see. Even if he missed, and his attention was drawn, and he acts upon it, then that is off mark or something. Then what is the
No,
essence of
I
people
hate to
looking
interrupt you.
through and reporting?
In
What
fact,
is it?
I hate to interrupt you, but I see the attempt to kind of expand the discussion to embrace, oh, what could be possible. Yes, it could is possible that there are all kinds of things that are not going correct, are not being correctly done. That's, we don't expect the president to know all of that, but this is critical. I want us to kind of focus on this particular issue. This
Right.
issue has to do with our revenue generation, a
Right.
very critical piece of
Right.
government policy, right? A government has made a decision. This is a government decision to resolve the issue of the shortages that come out of, what has been recorded at the depots and what has been recorded at the distribution centers for tax purposes. That was the government's intentional attempt, specific attempt to solve that problem. And the
Okay.
vehicle deployed to solve that problem was a
Okay.
contract with a private institution. So I'm
Right.
saying that if that contract is illegal, the president should know. And it is not because
Okay.
it is of one of those so many things. This one is very
Okay.
unique. This one
So the
kind of falls
president,
within
the
how his
president
policy
is
is being
aware
deployed.
now.
Yeah.
He is aware now, and he has acted.
Mhm.
If he should have,
Right.
and he didn't. If he should have, I mean, that is we. Okay, so I'm getting where you are coming from. So the impression is that if he skipped it, why didn't he know ahead of time and correct it that it has to take the fourth estate? Yeah, we can have you see, there are so many loopholes in our system that we need to fix. Now, when it comes, this is an area that needs to be fixed. Okay, that the Ghana Revenue Authority entered into the contract, maybe supervised by the Ministry of Finance or whatever, and then I don't know, did it go through the attorney general? Was there any briefing and stuff like that on all these kind of stuff? How what was the relationship between contracts like that are written? Was it a case that the presidency trusts the ministry so much so that once this is done and revenue collection is coming in, so obviously there's a gap there that needs to be fixed. I'm not disputing that. Okay, I'm not saying, but these things are not off mark though. Sometimes there has been a whole law that has been passed and then it's thrown away, even when it has been signed into law because somebody challenges it in court. So missing something because you think it is this
What does
way
that have to
and
do
it
with this?
happens to be another way, it is part of human life. The most important thing is not the commission of the crime, but our reacting, the way we want to fix it and make sure that it doesn't repeat itself. Because people are always looking for ways to dupe the system all the time. People are, yeah, when they get the opportunity, they'll take their pound of flesh illegally from the system. And that cannot be disputed. So let's get straight to the issues here that have been raised. The NDC is all over the place, jumping into whatever and whatever. Crime is a crime; it doesn't go away. Anytime you come process. So what are the issues here, right? The issue with Ford Estate, right, is that there is duplicity, right? There is there is a certain amount of money. Was it 100 million or so that has been paid that should not be paid, and that this
It's 2 billion.
contract
Two
shouldn't have
billion
gone
Ghana.
on.
2 billion Ghana.
This contract shouldn't have gone on. Okay, right? Okay, but what we should know is that if they are paid from monies that they were able to collect. Okay, and not they are paid because they're working. No, we have to get that part. These people came in. If Amazon, if you are speaking, I can hear you. Speak and let me see if I can hear you. I don't know what is happening. I cannot hear you. Paul, can you hear him?
No, I cannot hear him either.
Okay, so something is happening to you. But can you hear me? If you can hear me, let's go so that you find a way to fix
Yes,
it.
I
So
can hear.
yeah, I can hear you, but I cannot hear him. I don't know. The same thing is happening in my case. So okay, let's go. I cannot hear you. So what is happening is that so they were contracted that there were some under declaration, and that they pay a percentage of the under declaration, and not that there's a contract. Go look for this, and you are paid. So let us get that. So if they got any money, they got a percentage of supposedly the stealing that was going on. Let's get that. That is very, very important. Now, the amount of money that the Fourth Estate said they have been paid was not true. Now later on, Fourth Estate said that it was the value, the value
Can
of
you hear
how
me now?
much. You see, you are lying. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Now the question of duplicity. Okay, the National Petroleum Authority didn't have the machines to check the under declaration. These things have been made clear. They didn't have it. They didn't have the meters to check it. Okay, they had that discussion. They know that there's under, even as we speak, there's upstream under declaration. The upstream, the report said we should check it. Okay, so the report did not just talked about the report has some advantages for the contract and some disadvantages for it. So let us not speak as if the report automatically condemned everything that happened and said, oh, this is demonic, throw it away. And of course, if something was supposed to have gone to Parliament and it didn't go to Parliament, of course, the president has read through and agree and that all those things should be corrected. If it was supposed to have passed through a certain procedure and didn't go through, yes, you deal with all those things and you make sure that you put certain things in place so that we are not shortchanged in terms of what we are supposed to do that we did not do. Okay, but for me, what is important for me is that the president did not. When this issue came, it wasn't pushed under the carpet. We didn't say this is a sensation coming from a newspaper, so let's throw it away. We looked for a credible institution. Gave them the issues to deal with, and then they also deal with the matter, made recommendations. The president accepted the recommendations and has issued a white paper on it, and then we gotta move on to the next level. You see, for me, let us not stand here and crucify this one. Okay, so as we correct the things that are in there, then the question that I keep asking when we discuss some of these things is that what are the other existing contracts, not even within the revenue collection stream? But other ministries, are there other contractors that are facing the same thing? And how do we get into the bottom of all those things? And for me, even though sometimes there is over sensationalization coming from the media, which we need to put into check, some of these things are very important so that we sanitize our system and we go. But you cannot sit here and say that a president that has heard information has acted up, has shown concern, put in place an agency to deal with it, and they've dealt with it. They've issued a report on it, and we acting on the report. You say what? That is governance. That is how we govern the country. So you deal with the issues when they come up. And if you cannot credit him, don't crucify him. These are the things we want to see. Because you see, the whole thing is an ongoing process. It's not an event. Ongoing tomorrow. You see, we keep going. Human life keeps going. So some of these things will check other people that are, doing something like what happened with the minority leader who is facing persecution, and so we learn from all these things. We learn from them, and then we move on as a country. Now, the question of release of report. If you are speaking, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. It went back. I don't know what you pressed. I still can hear you. But let me finish speaking. So can you hear Amuzu?
I can't hear him. I can hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Now, the question of release. You see, you go and quote RTI, right?
Your time is up.
My time is up.
Yeah, I started.
Oh, Amuzu, you are being very, very unfair. When did I start? Let's even assume that I started 25, which I did not start. It is not even. It's not.
Started at 28.
If I started at 28, I have 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's 39 now.
He doesn't even know his mathematics. He doesn't know very simple mathematics. And he's
oh boy! So right now it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, you've been going. Okay, so if I
wasn't even paying attention to the time. I haven't spoken for 10 minutes.
You can come for rebuttal. Just kind of hold on.
Man, but quick one. Let me wrap up on the release of the report. Okay, so you see, in the RTI, there are exemptions. Okay, so the report contained names and interviews and some statements that when it is released,
you have not seen the report. You have not seen the report.
No. Yeah, no. Okay, so that is what he's saying. Now, if this is a gap in the RTI, then we need to say, okay, so the committee would have to look at the report and decide if they release or they don't release. So these are all kind of things that we gotta deal with. We shouldn't just stand there to crucify that, there is blah blah blah, so they don't want to receive it. But the report has been summarized and given to you. So let's deal with it and take it up from there. Thank you. But this is a good thing. Practice it when you come to power in 2058. Thank you.
Okay, so the little I know is that you made a couple of statements that I want to clarify. So what I know is that the NPA, which is the regulator in that space, right, has a system called the Enterprise Relational Data Management System. Are you aware of that? Which is used for, okay, and that system has all the same exact flow meters. The flow meters at the various depots that apparently SML is claiming they are using. NPA has exact same things. I don't know if
they don't.
Okay.
No.
Read the Forfa State's reports and read. I've also posted Bryce Simmons analysis on that.
No. We're not gonna. Those were the allegations. So we need to correct. We need to take from the KPMG. We need to KPMG and what the you see the KPMG and MPA have said.
The KPMG report is now, so we can't even.
But they give us a summary of it.
I've read.
Yeah, but the summary didn't say. The summary, okay, even the arguments made in the summary, right, that this is supposed to be an incentive contract. So
there was a letter that was There was a letter that was read on Joy FM, okay, coming from NPA that they don't have it. Then now they're putting all those systems in place. So whatever they have, they just kind of going going with what the those in the industry tell them, and then everybody compute them down. And which
Yeah.
this thing are saying no, that doesn't work. So these people should come in and check them. No, let us not go
Okay.
there. They're setting it up. They are not done yet.
Okay, so here is also what you should be aware of. Between 2021 and 2022, revenue actually dropped. It didn't go up. This is a time when SML has this incentive contract. Revenue actually dropped. It didn't go up. And there is a reason for that. Because remember, the PSLR, or so they call it, the Petroleum Sector Levy Act, right, was removed temporarily at some point in 2022. Are you aware of that? And then it got reinstituted back. And that factored into what actually caused that increase that they are currently now reporting in 2023. So the increase is not because when they were asked, SML, who have you actually captured or seen in your audits not reporting? And they couldn't come up with one because the understanding is that every tank in Ghana has a tracker that is monitored by the MPA. The police are even mandated to stop these tankers and ask them for specific.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you should do a little more reading on this.
Okay.
So SML really, that's why the president came out to say this is an illegal contract. The president himself.
No, the illegality has to do with certain things that should have been done and not with the revenue. The president did not cancel the whole contract, though. It was not the whole contract. Certain aspects of it were cancelled. So don't put out the impression that the contract between SML and Ghana Revenue Authority is cancelled totally. No, certain aspects.
You see, the KPMG report, if the MPP and Nanado knows that they are not hiding anything, they should put other report. You see?
I mean, the government has issued that they're not going to do it. So let's just not discuss that. They're not going to do it.
What do you mean by you should not discuss that? What are you hiding from the good people of Ghana? You see, Alfred, this is straightforward.
You can redact the report and give us the portions that are not proprietary.
No, don't need the redacted portion. We need a full report. Because
no, I mean, if your name was mentioned in that report, of course, me being your friend, I wouldn't want to see that.
Why? Why? If the person has caused financial mistake, don't you want the person to be put out there so that the person will be shamed?
It doesn't take KPMG to pronounce the financial loss to the state. It's the court who does that. So we cannot take a KPMG report for legal pronouncements. KPMG cannot make a legal pronouncement on a person. KPMG can report their findings as to whether there is a loss to the state. It's not KPMG's business. You know that.
I am telling you.
I wouldn't want your name, if it was in that report, to be put out there because
I want my name to be put out there.
Then again, the public, in the public's mind. In the public's
go
mind,
go and add the full report of. Anyway, that's okay.
We'll be polluting the jury if we put a report there with people's names in there who perhaps may not be like KPMG can only find facts, and even their facts that they found, some of those facts may not be admissible in legal proceedings. So why should that be released?
Alfred, can you stop being legalistic over here and let's leave the issues and speak about it in
politically? Stop the legal and go politics because that one helps you.
Let's speak in the common plain words. The common plain word is that this SML is thinking it's a scandal that this government has perpetrated on the good people of Ghana. If Brother Efa and his party think there's nothing, they should put out a KPMG report. We also want to know, and let's put on record, that the IT director of SML, the director general, and MPA executive director, Mustafa Hamid, have all admitted in the fourth estate video that the tax or whatever SML is doing is duplicity. They are duplicating or duplicity of whatever is already existing. You understand?
I would take that with a pinch of salt, though, because again, what was the question presented to them? What were they actually answering to? Were they doing it under? I mean, so there's so many things. The fact that
before Mustafa Hamid, before the IT director, before the director,
what does he know? He knows IT. He doesn't know contractual issues.
They knew there was camera on them. Nobody put a gun on their head to tell them that they should admit to something that is not a fact.
But I'm
Let's
saying, okay,
declare
let me ask you,
No.
should I expect IT director to know about contractual issues?
Of course. Of course.
No, that's
Of
not
course.
his business.
Not
Of course.
necessarily.
His
Not
job is in
necessarily.
IT. His job is in IT.
Hold on, Alfred. The
If
reason why
you want to have contractual issues answered, why don't you go to the contract department or go to the CEO of the company?
this is
So you can ask the
this is a
contractor.
contract. There's nothing about the IT director. This is a contract that the IT director should not know about. The question that was posed to the IT director was the functions that you guys claim you are performing. Is it the same function that the GRA, the MPA, and the petroleum organization are doing? And he said yes. So
Okay,
therefore, it's a
again.
duplicity of what you guys are doing.
No. Paul, I hate that I'm arguing with you, but again, Paul, let me explain this to you, right? He has no business knowing what the other institutions are doing. He knows what he is doing in his organization, but he can't speak for MPA. He can speak for the other organization.
That is why
Manasseh
told him what the GRA, MPA are doing and what you have they added to it.
So
no, but there should have been questions specific to what they were doing, so that they do a comparison and not go and ask here what somebody is doing outside over there.
What Manasseh should have done is ask, what are your jobs here? What do you do exactly? When
Exactly.
MPA, what do you do here?
You cannot think from that.
So that we ourselves will compare.
You cannot
We
think
can't
from
have
Manasseh.
Manasseh telling us.
You cannot. Alfred, you cannot think from Manasseh. Manasseh asked his question, and the IT director answered the question, and we all saw it on audiovisual. He admitted to the fact that whatever they are doing is a duplicity of what MPA and the GRA and the petroleum authorities are doing. It's a duplicity.
How did he know? How did he know?
Paul,
how did he know?
Sensationalization of matters that we say the media engages in. Manasseh has no business.
Alfred,
how did he know?
Asking somebody or what somebody else is doing.
Manasseh is a citizen of Ghana. He has every right, and he has every right to poke his nose into that affair because it is his business. If you tell me Manasseh has no business, I totally disagree with you. We are not talking about law.
Understand what I'm saying.
But Paul, the question is, how did that guy know what MPA is doing? How did he know?
Because
he works there. That guy works there.
He doesn't work there, so he has no personal knowledge. There's no personal knowledge
Alfred,
of what he's talking about.
Alfred, the KPMG report should be released. Let Ifa and Nanado and his government release the report. And let's see the stinking deal that is in that report. What are they hiding from the good people of Ghana? They should release the report. That's all we are asking for.
We are protecting people's people's personal privacy and stuff like that.
Okay, let's wrap up.
I'm disappointed in you, brother.
Haven't you? Don't you have a case where you keep certain report to yourself in previous governments? There are. They do that all the time.
Let's wrap up.
Which report? State the report.
Have you released the Kwesiboche report?
Oh, my friend, Kwesiboche
report.
Is it private? You think NDC is a private institution?
Hold on.
You think NDC is a private institution?
That the Kwesiboche report has got to do with the saving the public purse. What has it got to do with it?
Maybe we'll find out the source of your 20 million headquarters.
All right, guys, let's wrap up. Okay, guys, so it's been a great conversation, and hopefully the listeners would attest to it themselves.
As I wrap up, okay? The NPP and Brother Ifa and Nanato and Paumia, okay? Mm-hmm. They've proven to the good people of Ghana that they are very, very visionless. They don't know what they are about. We are asking that the money they've paid for no work done, the $11 million to the Prarugu Dam project, without any project or no work done, we want that money back. We are also saying that the $12 million paid to the Japan deal, with that no work done, we want that money back. We are saying that the $2 million they paid for the Sky Train, we want that money back. We are saying that the 52.1 billion Ghana cedi that got missing during the 2020 election, Baumia knows about that deal. We want the money back. And lastly, the PDS deal that Baumia was part of, that they changed a bank guarantee to an insurance guarantee, which happened to be a 419. We need all those money back. Let Badaifa send this to Baumia. It is not, it is not by force for him to say, give me the steer, move a steer, mommy. He will not get the steer today. He will not get the steer tomorrow, and he's not going to get the steer in the rest of his life. He is corrupt, just like Nanado is corrupt. He has no vision. He has no aim. He is very super incompetent. The dollar has exposed him, and I am requesting that Brother Ifa join him to rearrest the dollar, because the dollar has broken jail, and Brother Ifa and Baumia knows where the dollar is. They should go and rearrest the dollar. That's what
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now let's hear from you, and then we'll bring it to the end.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful discussion today. Today we talked about the issue and some equipment that are missing. And it is important that as we go into the elections, we go and make sure that it's credible. So all parties, the vigilance is there and stuff like that. But most importantly, the NDC shouldn't focus on just one thing. Okay, they should make sure they train their illiterate polling agents. They put in place the measures to collate results, because they've never.
That. So the polling agents are of a whole slew of people. So
they came to tell us that the last elections they fixed illiterate agents. Not me.
But listen.
Mahama said they not because they fixed illiterate agents.
Listen, guys. We are trying to have very meaningful conversations here. We are very, educated ourselves. So what we say is a reflection of us, right? So let's not kind of muddy our very wonderful show by using words that will take away from the show. I mean, seriously, we are doing a fine show. We are sharing our brain, very interesting conversations. Using those little insulting words take away from the show. Somebody might see it and compare it to any other insulting show that they can go and watch. And some of those insulting shows are much more interesting than ours. Ours is trying to push ideas, and we want to do it in a gentle and fine manner. So I expect that of you. I'm begging you to actually adhere to that.
Okay. Can you see this? Can you read this? Read it.
Yeah. Well, we are not gonna worry about that, right? I mean, I'm saying
okay.
that.
But I'm not using words. This is something that is widely publicized, and I can give you a copy of it. So I'm not. That's why I Google it and I say read it. Okay. Read it. It's not me trying to put words over there. So train your agents. I mean, I'm not because elections are won at the polling stations. It is very, very important. Paul used a lot of words that, in your opinion, they are not supposed to be good for their destiny, but he got away with it. So just quoting.
I didn't know fat. Go
and I'm saying this for all of us.
Okay, but how can you say Baumia is useless? How can you say useless?
Okay, guys,
is it not?
You're supposed to wrap up. So
he is useless. Baumia is useless.
Guys,
you can say the policies, but the person, the person is not.
Go and help Baumia to rearrest the dollar. I help you.
Okay, so let me wrap up. So the elections are won, and there are specific things that wins elections. So the NDC should focus on those things and make sure that they put in place all those measures, like I've said, polling agents, collation, training your people in the electoral processes and all that kind of stuff. It is very important before, during, and even after the elections and all that. That's very important. Now, on the issue of the SML, yes, the report has exposed some of the things that shouldn't have been done, and the president has asked state institutions to act upon them. For me, it is very good that we encourage criticism of the government and contracts and stuff like that, which is what the fourth estate did. They may have sensationalized some things, which is okay, but if they can minimize that and focus on the issue, that would be very good. Civil society organizations and the way they bash the government and bring issues is very important, because they have to do it genuinely, not out of mischief and other stuff. Government responded to these things. It is these are governance issues. They see what is happening there. It may have skipped you, or you didn't see it. So Government also came in, put in place the necessary, inquiries, and then we have the report, and then we're dealing with the issues and stuff like that. This is governance. This is good policy. And when you look at what the MPP has done in terms of responding to some of these issues, you got to give us a plus. And that tells us that when it comes to governance and delivering to the good people of Ghana, we are always ready to tell the good people of Ghana that we are human. We may not always be right, but when you tell us and you inform us, we are ready to reform and put measures in place, just as we've done in the things that were not existing, like the drones, the free SHS, and all these big policies that have come to deliver you from all these kind of things. We need that as a country. So let us focus on the policies and what is it that we can do for the good people of Ghana. Come December 7th, it is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the man that has proven that he's ready to take over the next government. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much.
The businessman. Add to the businessman. Add it to it.
Oh, we want to stop those type of references. Okay, guys. It's been a very interesting conversation. What I would say is that we usually take things from the media space, but we also have to be careful of journalistic sensationalism. What do I mean by that? Like, for instance, when the journalists try to tell us what we need to believe, then of course he's going out of his way. It's going out of his journalistic standard. All they need to do as journalists, media people, is get us the facts. For instance, in the case of whether this guy is doing, the question of whether the IT director is doing the same thing MPA is doing, all we really needed for him to do is show us what the IT director is doing and go to the MPA and show us what MPA is doing. Leave it to us to make our mind up on whether the two are doing.
I disagree with you. If you are also saying this, you are trying to gag people for what they should do and how they should do their job. Let them have
their editorial opinion. Let the media house have their editorial opinion. Don't bamboozle the media house. Come on, man. And then you talk about culture of silence. Then you talk about culture of silence.
No,
it's their opinion. They have an opinion too.
They can have their editorial opinion, but we know how that has caused countries. It took editorial opinions to cause Rwanda to go to war. So I'm saying that it's important that you, as a journalist, report just the fact. If you are doing editorial and it's your opinion, let us know it's your opinion. Don't make us know that your opinion is the fact.
Are you trying to say that the video and the report from Manasseh is not a fact? Is that what you are trying to say this afternoon?
So you can use video to even share your opinion. What I'm saying is that the way he presented that, as though we should believe what the IT director is saying as gospel. We shouldn't.
I agree.
And I'm saying that all Manasseh needed to do is show us what the IT director is doing, show us what IPA is doing, leave it to us to form our own opinions. Then it will be that you are reporting facts to us and we are forming opinion based on the facts. But when you do what he did,
you are in the pocket of Ifa this evening or this afternoon.
It is okay.
Out of the pocket of
when he's in your pocket, you don't complain. Let him be in my pocket.
No,
this thing you are defending is unacceptable.
Anytime somebody is being objective, then NDC has a problem. Because if Pratt was objective, you have a problem. Let people, you see, we can't always have it our way. Sometimes you bash us, we take it in good faith. It's not going your way, so somebody's in somebody's pocket.
if I there is nothing that Alfred is saying that is not going my way. The fact of the issue is that Alfred is trying to bring his legalistic, education and understanding.
Because he's a law student and he knows what a law is right now.
He's a law student. He should put his law aside. Let's talk about the general understanding of what is going on. When the issue gets to the court, yes,
this is not
legalistic.
No,
this is not IT. This is law. This is not IT. This is not engineering.
All I'm pointing to is that somebody trying to spin the fact for or use their opinion.
Yes,
their opinion is a fact. It's not a fact.
Are you trying to tell us? Are you trying to tell me that the report is what Manasseh reported is not true, and that we should not take that? Is that
not exactly. A certain aspects of it. Not the whole report. There are certain aspects.
Yeah, when it tries to kind of tell us, for all you know, maybe that is duplicative, but the way in which it is being reported, right? You can conclude based on just interviewing an IT director that, oh, it is duplicative what somebody else is doing, without
Alfred, I can
necessarily
assure you.
going to show us the facts.
Alfred, I can assure that when the president released the KPMG report, you will come here and retract all this statement. But I'll let you go.
Even with KPMG, right? I'm saying that KPMG has no power to tell whether somebody is causing the country, whatever. KPMG is a fact-finding organization. Isn't there auditors? They go and audit and bring the facts they found. Those facts they found, some of those facts are completely inadmissible to form an opinion on whether somebody is being criminally liable or not, or whether somebody is even being liable or there's an illegal contract or not. Even the president saying a contract is illegal, that is not for the president to call. The president doesn't call the legality or illegality of contracts. These are matters for the court to handle. So we are getting it all wrong the way we approach these things, okay? The president, if you have a report presented to you and you believe that there's an illegal act involved, you refer it to the, what do you call it? The attorney general. The attorney general take it through the prosecutorial system so that the court will make a pronouncement on that. We don't wait on the president to be telling us what is legal, what is not legal. That is kind of.
Oh, but first, it was a recommendation in the report, and I am sure the president would have discussed that portion with the attorney general and would have drawn that conclusion in the white paper.
It's up to the president to make a pronouncement of what is legal and what is not legal.
So we should take it to court to make that pronouncement.
It's the court who does that. President doesn't have the power to
tell
us what is legal.
Okay, so KPMG is wrong in saying that. Okay, thanks for that.
Giving KPMG couldn't say that. KPMG should just be reporting the facts to us. This should have been taken to Parliament. It wasn't taken to the Parliament. It ends there. The legality of it, they leave it to the courts to determine. I mean, they can.
I understand.
Yeah.
So, but you see, so the existing laws that says this is the procedure based on these circumstances. So if you don't do that, then it's illegal, though.
KPMG is not clothed with the legal brain to determine whether somebody broke the law or not.
Now you are okay.
Yeah. Now. Anyway,
okay.
Thank you so much for the conversation today.
Are we coming next week or no?
Definitely, we'll be here next week.
We'll be here.
You know what time is it?
I'll be here. Let's bring the topics, and I'll come and hammer Paul into pieces.
Today
come and chop him into pieces.
I enjoy the conversation.
Like I did today.
Enjoy the conversation, and I'm sure the listeners would attest to that. Thank you for coming, my very good friend, Zafar Ameya.
Thank you.
MPP Communication Director in the United States, and Paul Disosu of NDC Massachusetts also speaks for the NDC. Thanks again, the two gentlemen, for joining us and sharing their mind. I really appreciate it. We'll be back next week. Have a good day. Bye-bye.